What's up, disc golfers? Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and there is some controversy at Worlds. But what else is new? It always seems like there's some kind of major controversy whenever it comes to Worlds or National Championships. Just ask Paige Pierce when she blasted the PDGA and Disc Golf Pro Tour with the amount of courses that the women have to play, especially compared to the men when we're talking about the National Disc Golf Championship for men's and women's respectively. Now, when it comes to Worlds, there is some controversy here, and you may or may not have seen on Twitter that crazy things have happened here. Crazy things have happened here. The world is exploding. The world is going absolutely insane because Brodie Smith dared. How dare you, sir? How dare you? I condemn you in the strongest terms for trying to make things safer and better for the pros warming up for Worlds. He did the crazy outlandish thing of renting out the entire driving range so that no one would get hurt and people actually had places to warm up their entire drives and not just practice some 200-foot upshots. And I know what you're thinking. 200 feet, man, that is a great drive for me. However, these are the pros. These are the guys who are like 200 feet. Man, I can do that with my eyes closed, left-handed, into a gale force wind with a putter. But he had the audacity to go out and rent that and then post about it in social media and basically tell the PDGA to get their act together. Well, the PDGA, Justin Menickelli, I think I'm saying his name right. I apologize if I'm not. I have been known to pronounce names wrong from time to time, or more often than not if you're a regular watcher or listener to this podcast and YouTube channel. He called that Brodie Smith, well, let me just pull that up and I can show you exactly what he said just for himself.
I thought it was kind of a jerk move, honestly, on behalf of Brodie. I mean, like, it was
a jerk move. That's all he had to say. That's all Justin had to say. That interview was through Frolfer Magazine on Frolf Center, their podcast. And Justin, buddy, a couple things I want to talk to you about. Just one professional to another who is, I get it. It is a volunteer position here. The PDGA board of directors, they're all volunteer positions. If you want to do it, you can do it. And I applaud all the men and women who serve on the board of directors. I believe for the most part, you tried to do a good job. However, Justin, you, a couple things. PR. You guys need some PR because I get what you're saying. I do. I understand. However, the way you said it was pretty terrible. You called Brodie Smith a jerk for doing it. And I don't think you should treat people differently based on how many YouTube and Twitter and all these different followers and everything. However, he has a massive audience. And he is one of the more popular players in disc golf, despite being one of the newer players on the PDGA Tour. He brought over a huge following from Ultimate Frisbee. And that's just the way it goes. And I'd like to think that, as it was pointed out in the comments of that YouTube video, that was a Facebook video. I will leave a link in the description below so you can watch this clip in its entirety. I'd like to think that if Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki, Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen went up and did the exact same thing, you wouldn't have a damn word to say about it. Because let's face it, if one of those, especially let's take Paul Macbeth, for example here, one of the greatest disc golfers of all time. If he did something like that, you wouldn't have said boo. Now, that's just because you want to protect your cash cow / golden boy, Paul Macbeth. And I don't blame you. He is a fantastic disc golfer, and you're going to give him a lot more leeway. I think it was a huge oversight by the PDGA tournament committee, the Pro Tour tournament committee, everybody involved, the tournament directors and everything. I think this was a huge oversight. What happened? I don't know. But we're going to play out two possible scenarios because still at the time of recording this, all the information has not been out there yet. So option one, Brodie Smith did talk to the tournament director or some tournament official and said, hey, yo, what's the deal? Why don't we have this entire driving range? What's going on? And pretty much they said pound sand. And so Brodie, being the good, kind sir that he is, also wanting to warm up and get a thorough warm up, work on his drives because there's a lot of OB at all of these courses. And he decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to talk to the course people here, the ball golf course people, and go, how much does this cost? How much is this going to cost? $1,000 for a day. That's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. He's like, I can do that. It's a lot of money, but at the same time, it's a good idea. And what was mentioned later is that the tournament was going to reimburse him the $1,000 out of the purse. The purse. I'm speaking right into the microphone. Out of the purse. That is absolutely insane. That is stupid. That's ridiculous. That you shouldn't be taking that out of the purse to begin with. The purse is what it is already. That means you get first, second, third, however far down, the 40%, you get this all the way down to this. That's it. That's what it is. And then you're going to take $1,000 out of that, essentially $500 away from the men and the women separately, one purse, blah, blah, blah. That's just dumb. Option number 2, Brodie didn't talk to the tournament staff there, and he just went and did it and posted it on social media. That is less than tasteful. I wouldn't exactly say a jerk move, because if I was a pro warming up for the biggest tournament of the year, by far, this is Worlds. This is a world championship with, unfortunately, mostly only United States players, North American players. We got some Canadians, However, normal years, this is a huge international tournament. But I digress. He's upset, and he wants to warm up and get everything going and make sure that his game is the best it can possibly be before he goes out and plays. Finds out that this isn't happening. He goes, hey, it's $1,000. He's upset, and he posted on Twitter. Less than tasteful, not a great idea, but I can understand where he's coming from. And the way the PDGA has responded to this is just like, you tried to make things better. Screw you. You're a jerk. I think in the long run, this is part of Brodie's plan to kind of help with the separation of the PDGA from the Pro Tour, not necessarily the DGPT, but try to separate those out. Because let's face it, as disc golf is growing, the PDGA is just got too much going on. The NFL doesn't have anything to do with the NCAA and with high school sports and down to Pee Wee. Now, they might help and do some of these, and some of the rule changes that happen at the top trickle down and vice versa. They go up. Same thing can be said about Major League Baseball. They do their thing, Major League Baseball. They have nothing to do with college. They have nothing to do with high school and so on and so forth. Yes, they can give out scholarships, grants, blah, 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 do all that crap. But that's not the whole point. They're separate entities that work independently and sometimes usually end up working together. And that's exactly what's going to happen if, say, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the DGPT, takes over all the tour aspects. And then the PDGA just is the ruling body, therefore pretty much the amateur side and everything else. I think that would be a great split. And I think this is the ultimate goal, is to help move that along. I think that's part of why Brodie kind of put the PDGA on blast, because they dropped the ball on this one. Now, I want to know what you thought. Let me know in the comments down below, or find me on social media at Twitter, at Instagram, on Facebook, all at Joe's Disc Golf. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Joe. You've been awesome. Can't wait to see you all in the next video.